Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're diving into a question that honestly drives manufacturers crazy. Why is there such a massive price difference for a manufacturing execution system, or MES? We're talking about a range that goes from thousands to literally millions of dollars. And we're going to figure out why. Okay, so let's get right to the heart of it. You'd think a system like an MES would have some kind of, baseline function, right? A bare minimum. But this seemingly simple question is actually the source of so much confusion, so many failed projects, and a ton of wasted money for companies trying to modernize. And this is where things get really interesting. If you look in a textbook, the answer is a clear yes. You've got official standards like ISA 95 that lay out exactly what an MES is supposed to do. But then you step into the real world. You look at the market, and it's just chaos. You see this wild price range, and you're left wondering, what on earth am I actually paying for? So here's the crucial point. This isn't really a technical problem anymore. It's about the market mechanism. You see, the market doesn't have a referee blowing a whistle saying, yep, that counts as an MES, or nope, that doesn't. Instead, you just have this huge variety of software out there, all using the same name but doing vastly different things. Okay, so to cut through all this confusion, we're going to use a really practical framework. Let's just forget the official definitions for a minute and break the entire MES market down into 5 distinct tiers, based on what these systems actually do on the factory floor. All right, let's start at the very bottom. Tier 1, the digital logbook. I want you to think of this as literally just taking your paper forms and putting them on a screen. It can tell you that a product was at a certain machine, but it has no idea if it was supposed to be there. It's just simple record keeping, and yeah, it's the cheapest you're going to find. Now moving up to Tier 2, we have the process guard. And this is a really big step up because it introduces a basic product model. Now the system actually knows the right sequence of steps. It can physically stop an operator from trying to run a product at the wrong machine. This is your first real layer of error-proofing. Tier 3 is what a lot of people probably picture when they hear the term smart factory. We call it the paperless operator. This is a system that's powerful enough to completely get rid of paper on the shop floor. It can connect to all sorts of general equipment, which is why you see it a lot in places like electronics assembly or PCB manufacturing. Okay, now we are jumping into a whole different league. Tier 4 systems are the specialists, built for the incredibly complex world of semiconductor manufacturing. We're talking about semi-automated factories where these systems have to manage unbelievably precise process flows. At this level, a single mistake can cost a fortune, so precision is everything. And at the very top of the mountain, you have Tier 5, the fully automated brain. This is the command center for the most advanced semiconductor factories in the world. It's not just talking to machines. It's conducting a whole symphony of automation, including things like the robotic sky trains that move materials all around the factory. It's the whole shebang. This slide does a brilliant job of showing you exactly where the MES sits in the grand scheme of things. Way up at the top, you've got your ERP system, which handles business orders. Down at the bottom, you have the actual machines doing the work. The MES is that critical bridge in the middle. It translates the what we need to make from the business side into the how to actually make it on the factory floor. So, we've gone through the 5 tiers, but why is this so critical to understand? Because choosing the wrong one isn't just a bad investment. It can literally bring your operations to its knees. The stakes here are incredibly high. And hey, don't just take my word for it. A report from the World Economic Forum found that a staggering 90%, 9-0, of factories that call themselves smart are actually failing to hit their goals. They get stuck with some basic automation, but never make that leap to the integrated control that a real MES provides. And just think about the risk. This quote right here says it all. Once you go fully paperless, you are all in on that MES. If it crashes, what happens? An operator is just standing there with a product that has a serial number on it, and they have no idea what to do next. Production doesn't just slow down, it stops, dead. So after looking at all of these tiers and understanding just how high the stakes are, what's the one thing you really need to walk away with? It's this, and it's so important. The term MES is just a label, it's a noun. It doesn't actually guarantee any specific function or capability. Anyone can slap that label on their software, and that's exactly why the market is such a mess. So the goal is not to find the best MES. It's about finding the right fit. You can't buy an MES like you buy a new piece of hardware. Trying to run a complex factory with a cheap Tier 1 system is a recipe for absolute disaster. But you know what? Buying a super expensive Tier 5 system for a simple assembly line is just a massive waste of money. The whole game is about matching the system's power to your factory's real needs. And that leaves us with this final question, the one you need to ask yourself. Forget the acronyms, forget the sales pitches. Ask this. What level of control, from a simple digital logbook all the way to a fully automated brain, does your factory actually need to win? The answer to that question is the key to solving this whole MES puzzle.